Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, is all about family. All right. They understood the assignment. LeBron James and his team, they executed the assignment and they understood it. Mission complete. Mission accomplished. All right. I enjoyed the movie. Was it a perfect movie? No. But what movie is perfect, right? It was a good, imperfect kids movie. And that's what the assignment was. Make a good family kids movie. And that's what this movie is. Like, this movie here, let me tell you something. There's no hidden agendas or anything with this movie. It is what it is. And the thing about it is, this is a movie where if I'm not in the room, I'm comfortable with my kids watching it. And my kids, they enjoyed the movie. Okay? That's all I cared about with this movie. LeBron James acting, I mean, is about as good as LeBron James is going to be because, you know, this shows that, hey, this man here pays attention with conditioning his body and working on his game and taking care of his family, you know, and trying to win championships and add to his real life legacy. You know, you can tell that he does that. You know why? Because his acting does not come off as someone who is somebody as a what's what I'm looking for? As a professional athlete who is normally trying to act, okay? But I thought overall he did a decent job. Don Cheadle, man, what can I say, man? Don Cheadle was Don Cheadle, right? I mean, Don Cheadle always understands the assignment, you know what I'm saying? And he carried much of the movie, and he was a very likable villain, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be on his bad side. But I thought it was a good movie, man. Like, the dynamic between LeBron and the young man who plays his second oldest kid, Dom, I thought it was real good chemistry, you know. Sonequa Martin Green, she played LeBron James' wife. For those of you who are not familiar with Sonequa Martin Green, she's currently on the Star Trek Discovery show, and she also, well, I didn't know about her until what season was that? Was it season 2 or season 2, season 3 of The Walking Dead? If you watch The Walking Dead, when they're at the prison, and she was on the show from seasons 3 all the way up to about, God, what season are they on now? They're on 11. Season 3 all the way up to about season 7, season 8, something like that. But man, it's good to see Bugs Bunny and the crew. You know, we haven't seen Bugs Bunny in a long time. I know I haven't. Growing up, you know, I watched a lot of Looney Tunes and stuff, so I'm familiar with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tasmanian Devil, you know, Lola Bunny. And my kids, they're not all that familiar with the Looney Tunes, you know, because my kids, I have little kids. So the thing about it is, you know, right now, you know, back in the day, it used to be Bugs Bunny competing against Mickey Mouse. But now, I mean, Mickey Mouse is straight dominating, you know. It's almost as if Bugs Bunny had retired, you know. But it was good to see them back, you know. That part was cool that I got a chance to, you know, explain to my children what Looney Tunes is, right? But they ended up liking it. They like Bugs Bunny, and that's the cool thing about with Bugs Bunny, whether if you know who he is or not. Once he is shown on your screen, you know, you can't help but to enjoy Bugs Bunny, right? Man, but like I say, the meat of this movie to me was the father and son relationship. The father and son relationship, you know, those moments, that's what grabbed bulk of my attention. All right, that's something that I can attach to myself, my life experience to this movie. You know, my dad is no longer living. My dad died back in 2005. That's 16 years ago. Man, still feels like yesterday. But some of the conversations that LeBron and his son Dom were having, it reminds me of conversations me and my father used to have. Because in this movie, you know, LeBron, you know, he wants his kid to be a professional ball player, to focus on basketball. But his son, he has other aspirations. I mean, he likes basketball, but his passion is creating video games, and he's real great at it. You know, and his dad kind of looks at that as, okay, you're just playing video games, right? Yeah, you know, because parents, you know, we always understand, right? No, we don't. And it reminded me of, like, when I was a kid, there were certain things that my dad was great at and I wasn't great at. You know, like, my dad was a awesome domino player. Like, he's one of the best people that can play dominoes and stuff. I suck at playing dominoes, and my dad just could not understand that, and I'm like, Dad, I don't want to play dominoes. Like, there was times where he wanted to show me how to play dominoes. I'm like, nah, I want to play Madden, NBA Live, NBA 2K, Resident Evil. I want to play my video games. But we both share the common interest of talking about sports. We'll play basketball together 1-on-1. We'll play, baseball where we're catching and stuff, and we'll toss the football around and stuff. And my dad, he played football in high school. I didn't play football in high school. I thought about it, tried out. It wasn't that I didn't make the team. I didn't want to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm not interested in football anymore. I enjoy the game as far as watching it, being a spectator, but I do not want to play it because you get hit very hard playing football. So you got to know who in life. You have to understand what you're great at and what you may not be great at. Okay, and who knows? I might have been pretty good at football, but guess what? I wasn't about to take all the hits to try and see. It wasn't worth it for me. But shout out to anybody who play high school football. Hey man, y'all, you get mad props from me on that. But anyways, my dad, he had wanted me to play football at one point, but we kind of clashed on that. When I stopped playing basketball, kind of clashed on that and stuff, and it got to the point where when I was probably about 16, 17 years old, he realized, you know what, son, I got to allow you to be yourself. I can't want you to be me, because if you're trying to be me, then you're stunting your own growth as a person and growing up to be a man, so I can relate to that. And watching those scenes in this movie, not gonna lie, man, I did not think I was gonna have a little bit of teary-eyed moments and stuff. You could call me a chump or weak, whatever, but guess what? There's nothing wrong with having moments that make you feel vulnerable. It goes to show you that you're human. But that right there was a big part for me. And and also you think about, man, like, what if your child is trapped in some digital world and stuff? How far are you willing to go to save your child? Believe it or not, you got some people, they not trying to save a loved one like that. They like, man, see you in the next life. Bro, you got people like that. I'm not like that, and thank God LeBron James in this movie is not like that, okay? But, it has some real... Now, the CGI in this movie, listen, I am a big fan of the original Space Jam, but that was about 25 years ago. CGI has come a long way since back then. Now, what we saw in 96 with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny in the original Space Jam, that was dope for being back in 96. But now in 2021, well, they finished the movie, I believe, in 2019. But that right there, man, it was awesome. It was awesome. I thought what they did with Dame Lillard and Anthony Davis and the whole Goon Squad, I thought that was cool. That was a cool setup. They looked pretty cool. They looked a lot cooler than the original Goon Squad, the Monstars, but I still think the Monstars look more intimidating. But I guess probably because when you think about the basketball players that they took their talents from and the likeness that they stole, the aliens from the first one, they were more intimidating players, led by no other than the 5'3" Muggsy Bogues. I mean, can you imagine Muggsy Bogues? Muggsy Bogues is intimidating. I mean, he might be short, but 5'3". But understand, Wolverine is 5'3". Okay, and he's intimidating. All right, you had Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, and 7'6" Sean Bradley. Okay, so that's an intimidating roster physically, especially. And that's intimidating if you're a human being. But imagine if you're Looney Tunes and you're yay height, you're going up against those giant men. Okay? Yeah, Muggsy Bogues is giant compared to Looney Tunes people. But man, the basketball scenes were awesome. They did some cool stuff on there, So I think, with this movie here, I think the best way to watch it, you have to, I don't know if you remember in school, but they will say put your thinking caps on. The reason why they say put your thinking caps on, because all the time we do not have our thinking caps on, because there are certain times where we put on our fun hats, okay? Or sometimes we may need to put on our, our let's care for one another hats, okay? So there's different types of hats and different types of lenses that you must bring to the table whenever you're watching a particular movie, because that's why movies have certain categories. Okay, If you're old school like me, you remember going to Blockbuster Video, Hollywood Video, whatever it is the name of your local video store. Or even now, if you go to Redbox, or if you're scrolling on your demand or whatever streaming service you have, they have different categories. You have horror, action, suspense, comedy, romantic comedies, movies based off novels and stuff like that. Kids movies, family movies, okay? Movies for kids 5 and under, movies for kids 5 to 10, okay? So you have different categories. So this movie right here, all right, it wasn't supposed to be taken too seriously, okay? It's more like a family kid fantasy type movie, okay? And when you use that type of lens or that type of hat, that type of perspective toward it, guess what? That's how you can come out and you can honestly decide whether or not if you like the movie. I was listening to Undisputed earlier today, and Skip and Shannon was talking about it. Now Shannon Sharp, I believe he has 2 kids, okay? So he's watching the movie and he's looking at it from the perspective as a father who has children, where his children are grown, but you remember the times when your child is yay high and when you have little moments where it's like, well, if I impose what I like on my child, that's going to prevent my child from being the best that he or she can be. Now, so he gave the movie a B+. Skip, he gave the movie a C, but see, Skip does not have kids, and that's not saying just because someone does not have kids they can't relate to that, because you got some people who have children who can't relate to it, all right? But Skip, he says, I don't have kids. Him and his wife Ernestine and their little dog, they watched the movie twice. And see, he was more of a, I can't even say a technical aspect of it, but he, as you could tell if you listen to Skip Bayless review of it, he could not relate. All right. And that's the thing. You're not going to be whatever you believe the greatest movie of all time, everybody cannot relate to it. All right. So like my top 2 favorite movies is 1A and 1B is Pulp Fiction and The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And guess what? Everybody cannot relate to one of those movies, and not even both. And a lot of people look at me crazy when I say those are my favorite movies. My wife, she's very, very good at, she's a very good movie person and stuff. She knows her movies, but she's not. Pulp Fiction wouldn't even be in her top 50. All right. Now, maybe 40-year-old version, maybe not. But the thing about it is this movie here is not going to please everybody. I don't think in this movie he was trying to be Michael Jordan. No, he wasn't. I compare it to, we have the Dark Knight trilogy, right? Christian Bale as Batman. Does that mean Christian Bale was trying to be Michael Keaton? No, because Michael Keaton's Batman movie was different than Christian Bale's. Playing the same character, and stuff like that. Or how about, okay, so if we're, let's talk about Ben Affleck's Batman. Is he trying to be Christian Bale? No. So what it is you're playing a certain character. Now, of course, LeBron is not playing Michael Jordan, but you're playing a very popular basketball player who's, for his era, who pretty much dominated as far as being the number 1 player in his era, okay? And the same thing, just like what Michael Jordan was able to do, all right? And I remember the initial thought process with the whole Space Jam series was to, after Michael Jordan, they was going to do one with Tiger Woods with golf. And then they was going to do one with, I believe, with Wayne Gretzky as far as with hockey. I think they was going to do one with football. I think maybe they was going to have Joe Montana, I believe, or Emmitt Smith or something like that. So, or Jerry Rice. But, that's, technically that would have been a whole new legacy and stuff like that, So I'm perfectly fine with LeBron James doing it. I got no problem with it. There were some moments where it's like it seemed like LeBron was trying too hard. But listen, I'm not going to knock anybody for trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, his struggles in his acting, it wasn't due to him not taking his craft serious. I think he was taking a little bit too serious. But see, here's the thing. What's the movie he was in? Trainwreck. I thought he did an awesome job in Trainwreck. He played more of a supporting character. He was playing himself. But in this movie here, he was the star. Okay? So it's kind of like, let's say if Don Cheadle, I don't care how many hours or day Don Cheadle put in trying to become a basketball player, guess what? He is not going to be a better basketball player better than LeBron at acting. They probably be on the same level. So we're not expecting LeBron to be Cheeto, Denzel, or Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Angela Bassett, Viola Davis, Julia Roberts. We're not expecting him to be on that level, okay? So with this movie here, man, you know, if you're watching this movie and you're just trying to be like, okay, well, he think he Michael Jordan. No, he is not trying to be Michael Jordan in this movie, and none of his game reflects like how Michael Jordan is. All right, but I think this was a very good movie. If you have kids, I think your kids will enjoy the movie. I think they will. All right. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. I have things that I liked about it, and I have things that I did not like about it. But guess what? I could find that with any movie. Name whatever movie it is, I could find something about that. But they understood the assignment very well, because it was meant to be a family kids movie, and that's what it was. You know, don't you just hate movies like, you know, what's that movie? It's the movie named Midsummer. Okay? I thought it was an okay movie, but it was not scary. But it was supposed to be a scary movie, and I wasn't scared. So in return, the end result, I don't like the movie very much. All right? With this movie here, it's a family kids movie. So if you're approaching it thinking it's a rated R or anything other than that, or an action movie, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be majorly disappointed. So I'm warning you before you waste 2 hours of your time. But I tell you what, all right, so if you like the movie, share your thoughts down below. If you didn't like it, share your thoughts down below. And if you plan on seeing it, share your thoughts down below. Hit that like button and that subscribe button. Student at the game. Peace.